Graph using given intercepts. After watching this video, I will be able to graph a line when given the x and y intercepts. So first we need to understand what an x or y intercept is. Whenever I have some function graphed on a coordinate plane, wherever the image, whether it be a line or any function, crosses the x-axis, that is known as an x-intercept. And this means that the y-coordinate must be 0. And that makes sense because if I were to read this point, I am going to the left to the -4. However, I do not go up or down. Which means that a y-intercept is wherever the image crosses the y-axis. And that means that the x-coordinate is 0. So if I had a graph, I can identify the x and y intercepts by looking at where your line is crossing the x and y axis. So in this example, I see that my line is crossing the x-axis at 20. So the is 20. And I can see that my graph is passing the y-axis at 30. So the y-intercept is 30, which means that my answer would be B. Before, we were graphing a line by creating a table of values. However, if we have the x and y intercept, we can actually create a nice sketch of the graph by plotting those 2 points and then creating a line. So if I give you the x-intercept in this example, which is -4, I'm going to plot a point at -4. Remember that the x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. And then the y-intercept, which is -3. And then I can connect the dots to create a sketch. However, this isn't the best method to graphing a line. Sometimes you're going to end up with fractions as x and y intercepts, and it might be really hard to create an accurate graph, which is why we have different methods to graph lines. So again, if we're given the x and y intercepts, we can graph by plotting those 2 points. So the x-intercept is 2, the y-intercept is 4. You can connect the dots to create a graph. So this is a you try problem. You should pause your video, try and graph this line, or at least identify where you would put the x and y intercepts, and then press play to see if your answer is correct. Pause your video now. Okay, so our x-intercept is -2. So I go to my x-axis, which is the horizontal line, put a point at -2. Y-intercept is 2, which I go to the vertical line, the y-axis, plot a point at 2, and then connect the dots. When you are freehanding this on paper, you want to make sure to get like a ruler or something to help you create a straight line. If you're using Edge Elastic or some other software, 2 points, the computer can actually make a nice straight line for you.